GMs for Hire.
Welcome back, everybody, to GMs for Hire. My name's Will Polson. Alongside with me today are Jamil King and Matthew Perry, and we are having our first ever guest here on the GMs for Hire show, as it is Tampa Bay Vipers wide receiver Reece Horn is with us today. Reece, thanks so much for joining the show. We really appreciate it.
Gentlemen, appreciate you having me. It's good to be here.
So just to give some backstory on you for some viewers who may not know who you are, just give us a rundown of from college to where you're at now, what your kind of timeline's been like regarding football.
Yeah, so graduated 2016 and from University of Indianapolis, born and raised in Indy, and then was signed with the Tennessee Titans, and then didn't stick there, was there, kind of off and on with practice squad and this and that, and then actually went over to Europe when I was released from the Titans. Actually went over to Europe for 2 seasons, involved there, one in Italy, one in Vienna, Austria, and then came back and was signed after the Vienna season with the new the Alliance of American Football League with the Memphis team down there, the Memphis Express, and then did pretty well there. And then after that, was signed with the Miami Dolphins last season. And then when the XFL was rolling around, we heard rumors about the XFL kind of revamping up the 2.0. I talked to my agent. He said it was a great opportunity with that. And I was actually drafted here to Tampa Bay on day one of the whole draft process with that too. So it's kind of been a great whirlwind of all that. Been to a good amount of cities, and I've got my name out there a little bit. But more importantly, we're excited for obviously the news with the XFL 3.0 now, I guess, with everything rolling. And hopefully should be hearing something here pretty soon within the next couple of weeks moving forward. But, yeah, that's kind of a little bit about my journey, where I've been. And it's one to say the least, fellas.
So you were on the Express over in Memphis in the AAF and now part of the Vipers as well. So you've been part of at least 2 kind of upbringings of leagues. What is that like to be kind of like in a league whenever they're first trying to get the gears rolling?
Yeah, it's exciting, no doubt. A new league, new professional league, a new brand of football, this and that. But it's tough at first because, it's the first one starting out. So obviously you see what works, you see what doesn't work. And then, at the end of the day, us athletes just want to ball and just want to showcase what we bring to the table too. So, it's exciting. I'm personally excited. I like the XFL way more than the AAF, just as a term from, stability. And then obviously our new owners now, which is, just really, really exciting too. And, we could talk all day on what's going to potentially happen with that too. But yeah, it's awesome. It's great. You get to meet so many different, athletes who've been in the league, who have been, elsewhere. And it's just a great feeling. It's definitely ups and downs. You just got to stay level with it. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
So we'll go back to your college time. We'll start back from the beginning. You went to the University of Indianapolis, as you mentioned, small town kid from Indiana. Whenever I looked at your numbers, you are an absolute. You've left your mark on the University of Indy. You've left there all-time leader in receptions, all-time leader in receiving yards, second all-time in receiving touchdowns. You are all over the record books there. Were you a highly touted athlete out of high school, or did you stick with Indy just because it was local, or what was that like, the recruitment process going through for you?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was just pretty slow coming out of high school. So, I didn't get heavily recruited, and I'm just going to keep it short with that. But University of Indianapolis, which is very well-known Division II school, and they always do well with football, they came in and offered me a pretty solid deal that I couldn't really pass up. And then also my quarterback, Connor Barthel, who we played together in high school in Indy, we both got scholarships to go to the University of Indianapolis too. So we both redshirted as well. So we played 9 years of football together too. So we kind of, the quarterback receiver relationship, it was about, 6 cents. And we absolutely lit up the record books there and kind of put our stamp in the history books with the University of Indianapolis football too, which is really solid.
For sure. Like I said, the record books are just lit up with the name Reece Horn all over the place over there at University of Indianapolis. But sticking with college football, This season, I'm going to get your opinion on this. Being somewhere, these are unprecedented times with a pandemic. It's very unlike any other, and I'm sure there's a little bit of different protocols maybe going on in the XFL and the Rebirth 3.0, as you've called it. A lot of college football programs are starting to call it a season. They're going to try to opt out of this season. It started with the MAC conference, made its way to the Big Ten, and so on and so forth. I just wanted to get your opinion on that. Where do you stand on the whole the we want to play movement from the college athletes and everything else?
Yeah, it's I can see both sides, no doubt about it. I had friends personally who played in the Big Ten, and obviously, D division. Well, my school is obviously prolonged till the spring too. But yeah, the bigger conferences too. I understand why athletes may want to play, but also it's about the safety not only for the players but also for the staff and the fans too, because the fans drive any league in any conference period too. So I would love to see those guys play. I've been talking to guys who have graduated from Big Ten schools who have played and kind of getting their take on things too. And we're all in the same boat. We'd love to see them play, but obviously we want the utmost health for all the players, all the coaching staff, all the trainers, and everyone who makes that ship float and go on game day, and everything behind the scenes too, from a medical standpoint, from just head to toe too. So I personally would love to see football. I mean, who wouldn't? That's just a great outlet for a lot of people in the United States and in the world in general too. But if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So I know these are unprecedented times with the U.S. and just the world in general too. So again, I would personally love to see football if they put the right places in measure too. I know a lot of people are obviously taking notes with how the NFL is rolling, how maybe the XFL is watching the NBA and the NFL as well. College football is obviously a lot different than the pro level, but if it's a condensed season in the spring too, that'd be great, as long as the players stay safe and they put a great product on there. Sorry, it's thunderstorming here in Tampa.
Are you safe out there?
Yeah, we're good. You know how it is. It's like 30 seconds of rain and then we're good. But yeah, that sounded pretty close. So.
Well, I'm going to open it up for Jamil and Matt. Guys, any questions that you have for Reece?
Well, I'll start. Since you mentioned you're an Indy native, were you a Colts fan growing up?
Yeah, of course I was. A huge Peyton Manning fan. I mean, it's hard not to like that guy when he just pretty much carried the city of Indianapolis for so many years too, and did so much great work for that whole city. Loved Reggie Wayne as a receiver. I loved watching Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Brandon Stokely, all those guys too. Kind of Dallas Clark, coming up, and still am a very big Colts fan too. And actually, one of the main tight ends, Jack Doyle for the Colts, he was a senior at Cathedral when I was a freshman too, and he was really good friends with my older brother too. So took a lot of good notes from him, obviously in high school, and loved following his career. And he's just blossomed into a great tight end all the way around with the Colts too. So yeah, absolutely a Colts fan.
How do you feel about them getting Phillip Rivers?
Yeah. It's probably hard to go from California to Indianapolis, Indiana, but that is such a great move for them personally too. I respect Andrew Luck with the way he he's just looking out for his future as well. But Phillip Rivers, he's going to thrive in that environment too, and the whole city of Indianapolis is going to welcome him and his family with open arms too. And I personally can't wait to see what they put on the field, and couldn't be happier for our city.
And then personally, what's your favorite football moment?
Ooh, man, I've got a lot of those, to be honest, but I don't know. I would say personally, I scored. When I was in Miami last season, we were playing the Mercedes-Benz Superdome against the Saints, and we were on the 3-yard line, and we just had a nice little. The whole play concept is called Madden. So, ironically enough, I ran kind of like a slant and then go to the back pylon, and my buddy Jake, he was a quarterback. Shout out to University of Michigan with him. We connected and we scored our first touchdown. So that was my first NFL touchdown, which is really special. And my family was there. My older brother was there too. So, it could be that. It could be, line up the books at UIndy. Just being, from I got a lot of them. But I would say my first NFL touchdown would definitely have to be that.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate the questions.
Jamil?
All right, so obviously we talked about how the XFL, was a startup league. I wanted to know how you felt about like that rule they had where the reporters allowed to like come on the field, interview you after like a big play. How did you feel about those?
Yeah, that was obviously, we've never seen that before, but I didn't mind it at all, man. It's awesome. It's a fan-driven league, and I love how they gave access like that to the people watching, the people that were at games, and honestly for us players too, because it's always nice to kind of talk a little bit and kind of just talk your game, but especially after running routes and all that, maybe the last thing you want is a microphone being shoved in your face and asking questions too, but that's with being a professional and being at this level, you gotta just do what the job description requires too. And I think it's great for the sport too. Hopefully they bring that back. Hopefully, The Rock and Dana Garcia and Redbird Capital, they get this thing rolling too. They 100% say they want a 2021 season, and they're taking notes, like I said, of how the NBA and NFL are doing things as far as reporting and keeping guys safe and all that too. So I'd love to see that, on field access back. I'd love to see that though.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting wrinkle they gave us. You talked about how you played 2 seasons in Europe. Could you tell us a little bit more like how you got there and like what led you
Yeah.
to Europe?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was in Nashville with the Titans in 2016 to 17, and then when I was released from them, it was kind of awkward timing. Rosters were already kind of like pretty much set and all that, and I still wanted to play, and I never really given Europe a thought, but wanted to just get film, and it was just a stepping stone for me personally. And honestly, it was one of the best moments, best decisions I think I could have made in that situation too, because it led me to this Zoom call right now, and kind of everywhere I've been before then. I have great friends out in Milan, great friends out in Vienna, Austria too, that are lifelong friends, and friends all over the world now because of that too. So Chris Kalakai, who was out in Vienna, and then a bunch of my boys in Milan too. Like, it was just such great times too, and it was good quality football out there too. I don't want anybody in the U.S. to sleep on football over in Europe too. Obviously, it's not it's not NFL, it's not XFL, it's not SEC football or anything like that too. But it's those fans are so passionate for any type of sport too. With when the team embraces the city too. I know obviously soccer is their cup of tea over there, but they're very passionate fans out there. They love what they see, and they love when a team embraces the city too and kind of gives back a little bit too. So it was great to kind of teach the next wave of athletes over there. And then obviously I'm doing the same here with some guys that I'm working with personally too. And it's so cool to stay in touch with them, kind of see how they're doing during these tough times. And they got things figured out over there. They're rolling. They don't even have to wear masks or any of that nonsense right now. But yeah, it was definitely an adjustment at first, a culture shock, excuse me, because you're not just going over to Europe to vacation and then coming back after 2 weeks. You're living there for a whole season, which is roughly around 7.5 months. So, but it was a great experience, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I don't think the average American knows they play American football in Europe anymore after NFL Europe went out.
Mm-hmm.
But another question, one more question I have for you is: do you have like
Yeah.
an all-time favorite teammate from your time in football?
Yeah, an all-time favorite teammate, huh? I would say when I first signed with the Dolphins last season, one of the couple of the first guys that come to mind are my boy Kenny Stills. He just took me under his wing kind of, and he was like, "Hey man, I understand how it is being the new guy in the locker room. I've watched your tape, I've watched your film. You're an absolute baller, and anything I can do to personally help you." He's been in the league for a handful of years, obviously, and as an established veteran. And he kind of took me under his wing and said, anything I can do to help, bring your game to the next level, I'd love to do that too. And same with Albert Wilson, the Miami Dolphins receiver. He kind of, said the same thing. He invited me over to for workout sessions and all that too. And the fact that these guys wanted a new guy like myself to see succeed, I just thought it spoke volumes to these guys too. And when I got drafted to Tampa Bay here at the XFL, the very first person that I got a text from was Kenny Stills, saying congratulations and all that. So that just really speaks on the type of guy that he is too, and really that whole locker room. Which is such a great atmosphere, and those guys just came to work every single day too, and they had fun doing it too. So I'm honored to meet and know those guys very well. Kenyon Drake, who's now out in Arizona, he invited me to his charity foundations and all that too, and help. He wanted me to be a part of that too. So we connected a lot off the field too, and these guys I just can't speak enough high great things about him too. So, but those guys on a professional level were my boys. But then obviously I got to give shout out to my boy Connor Barthel, who we played, high school and college ball with too. He was a main reason why, I had so much success personally, and then, who helped me get to where I am now too. So I'll definitely say those guys. I can't just name one. It's tough, but, it's not just one person anyways, but yes, sir.
You had spoke about your time over in Europe, and you said not to sleep on the area just because it's not the NFL or the XFL or anything such as that. Can you compare the atmosphere? Because you said they're very passionate about their sports over there, even for American football. What's it like, the feeling wise, trying to play in front of the fans over in Europe compared to playing in front of the fans here for, say, the XFL?
Yeah, and XFL fans are crazy. They at Raymond James, they brought it every single week, which is pretty cool. But fans over in Europe, it's kind of like a soccer game too, where there's constant, shakers going, horns going, just, the crazy flags and all that too. So there's not really ever a down time. Whereas maybe, in NFL, XFL, they're more zoned in on the game too. There's just constant noise, constant going, constant commotions. They're just very loyal, passionate, and once they see some good in a team and the team's doing well, and honestly, when teams aren't doing well over there too, and they see that they're kind of, what if they've lost 2 weeks in a row or whatever, then they still stick with them too, and they're just so passionate, they're so loyal. If you show a little bit of love to them, they're going to throw it back 10 times full too. So just very loud games, very passionate games too, and it was never a dull week, to say the least, over there.
Now, we know with The Rock and the group of people buying into the XFL and bringing it back for round 3, we know that that's imminent. You said that they're trying to get a 2021 season, if I'm not mistaken, trying to get it up as soon as possible. Have you heard anything about what to expect? Anything different? Anything maybe changing in the XFL or anything such as that?
Nothing yet. I know it just kind of last Monday was when they came in and bought the league. And then all I've heard is after August 21st, when it's like official, that their first order of business is getting the teams, rolling back, and then the facilities and all that. So it's a lot of hearsay right now, but like I said, I know The Rock and his team, they wouldn't just come in and do this and then just not have a 2021 season too. So, I've talked to some coaches, I've talked to other players who I've played with that are on the team, and this and that, and it's all up, good signs too. So nothing official, but I'm excited to hear and see things in a couple weeks. Hopefully we get a good sense of direction rolling for the 2021 season.
Matt, Jamil, you guys have any other questions for Reece before we close out here?
I got one more question. How quick did you adjust to the weather here in Tampa? I'm born and raised here, so I know that's hot and it rains every day. But how quick was it for you when you get down here and say, "Oh man, 100 degrees every day"?
Yeah. Speaking of that, we actually we were doing routes today with Taylor Cornelius, my quarterback, and then Dan Williams, a receiver on the Vipers as well. And we were rolling at 10 a.m. to 1 today, and it was probably, it was already, you step on that turf and it's automatically 10 degrees hotter too. So I don't think I'll ever be adjusted to it. I love this climate though. I love training in it. It's humidity, it's hot, it's a little mix of both. But it's just, you got to come to work every single day. And if you don't bring your mind right, then it's going to be a long workout, long game, long day for you too. So, but I absolutely love it down here, man. And the fact that you're born and raised here, I'm jealous. But I'll always have love for Indianapolis and the 317. But I mean, you can't beat the sunshine and weather. And it's about to storm here right now. But I take a little bit of rain and then 90 and sunny all day.
See, I've done the reverse move. I've lived in Florida for 12 years, and I actually just moved up here to Anderson, Indiana. So, ever since we've met, I've come up here to your neck of the woods. So,
yeah, the old stomping grounds where the Colts used to host training camp right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They used to. And now there's a big like West Park up in like Westfield, Indiana. That's where they hold the whole training camp now too. Now, obviously, I don't know with COVID and all that what they're doing, but yeah.
It's definitely a culture shock over here.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. So, couldn't agree more.
Matt, any closing questions for Reece?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Well, Reece, I do want to thank you so much for coming onto the show. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And really glad you got to be the first guest on our podcast. Is there anybody that you want to shout out, or any organizations or anything such as that before we head on out of here?
Just the whole city of Tampa Bay, I really appreciated them for the first season, how they kind of embraced us, all my teammates, and just my boy Barthel. I can never give enough love to my man Connor Barthel. He is just one of the most hardworking dudes I've ever met, and he's still slinging it. He's not playing right now, but he can still sling it too. So absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Reece, again for coming on. Really do appreciate it. Best of luck to you coming up here in the 2021 season, whenever that gets kicked off. We'd love to see you out there in the green and gold for the Vipers, and hopefully doing big things in the upcoming season.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Love to have you guys do a game. Hopefully we'll make those arrangements here soon. So
maybe if you come up to the Battlehawks, maybe I'll drive over to St. Louis, go see what I can catch.
Right. Yeah. We were supposed to host them week 6, and then Rona hit, so it kind of sucked, but it is what it is. So
until then, we'll figure out what's going to happen next time. But until then,
also want to give a quick shout out to the Mrs. Kristen. I'll get in trouble if I don't shout her out too. So that's my lady. So
Smart
I
man.
gotta. Yep. So yep. Just wanted to get that in there.
After Kristen has gotten her shout out, anybody else? Final, just Kenny Stills, Albert Wilson, anybody?
Yeah, all those guys, man. That kind of just helped me be the player and the man that I am today. Just couldn't be more thankful for all those guys.
Well, thank you, Reece. Appreciate it. And everybody else, thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of GMs for Hire. We appreciate you here. But until next time, I've been Will Polson. That's Jamil and Matt Perry. And thank you, Reece, for coming on yet again. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Take care. See you all in the next episode, guys. Peace.
Yep.